Life Recovery Ministry here in Joplin, Missouri. We're so glad you're here, and hopefully you are able to catch this, and it'll be a help to you and an encouragement to you. That's what we want. I want to start off with a couple announcements. We're having a ladies' conference starting Friday and Saturday. The ladies usually have a great time. There's many things going on. Maybe you hadn't heard about it. I don't know how you hadn't heard about it, but if you hadn't, you can come in and register at the door at 5:30. The sanctuary opens up at 6 o'clock, and everything's coming in off of our 410 Virginia entrance. That's what I understand. But there'll be signs and people and all kinds of activities. It'll be a good time. It'll be a special time, and they have all kinds of things going on Saturday, and they have people coming in for food wagons and all kinds of things. So anyway, excuse me. So please take advantage of this. We have stuff going on here at the church all the time, in one department or another. I'd say weekly. And so anyway, welcome to Doug's Encouraging Word. And I just, I find things that I think, interests me, so I figure it'll interest others. It may not be normal to a lot of folks, but hopefully it'll be interesting and helpful. And today, this information be informative. My title today is 8 Traits of a Toxic Person or Toxic People. 8 traits of a toxic people, and 6 early warning signs you are dealing with a toxic person. I want to start off with the scripture here. This is out of Ephesians 4:31, 32 NLT version. It says, "Get rid of all bitterness, rage, anger, wrath, also hateful words, slander, as well as all types of evil behavior. Instead, be kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, just as God, through Christ, has forgiven you." Now, these 8 toxic traits of people, I thought, there might be a few folks that wouldn't know what a trait is, and I looked up the definition. The trait here is that it is a distinguishing feature of a person's character trait, okay? And so this is basically how they act and behave pretty much all the time. It's a character trait. So here are 8 traits, okay, of a toxic person. Number 1 is manipulative. Number 2, they make you feel bad about yourself. Remember, we're talking about toxic people, all right? Number 3, being judgmental, a toxic person, right? Number 4, negative. Number 5, self-centered. Number 6, difficulty managing their own anger, okay? Number 7, controlling. Number 6, passive aggressive. Now, those are some traits of toxic people. Now, you may recognize, you may have some of those, or you know other folks that might have some of those. And as I get through the rest of this, I want you to understand, I'm not here to be harsh on anyone. I'm just trying to help you to be able to navigate life better. And if you understand more, then you're able to hopefully make healthier choices in your life, and you can understand what's going on. And as we go through these warning signs of toxic uh, persons, that you can recognize that all these behaviors are normally need-driven type behaviors, and that's because of their own need, as we all have human needs, and we're trying to get them met. Trouble is, oftentimes we use unhealthy coping mechanisms or behaviors to help us to get what we're looking for, and oftentimes, because they're unhealthy mechanisms, it really prevents us from getting what we want, and that's very sad, very sad. So hopefully, I can communicate this in such a manner that that helps everyone to get better, to grow, and come up uh, in fullness and measure of stature of Christ. How about that? We'll just throw that scripture in there. All right. So 6 early warning signs you are dealing with a toxic person. Okay, toxic people. We all have them, and we all deal with them in our lives, right? At work, at school, church, uh, maybe even at home. Okay, as a volunteer, as a staff member, as customers, toxic people. Well, they're toxic. And the definition of toxic person off the WebMD says a toxic person is anyone whose behavior adds negativity and upsets to your life. Negativity and upsets your life. I think they added a word too much in there. So, and many times people who are toxic are dealing with their own stresses and trauma. That's WebMD's definition. To do this, they have to they need to act on they need to act in ways that they don't perceive themselves. They to do this, they act in a way that don't present themselves in the best light, and actually upsets others in the way. So, in other words, people act out, and they don't act in their own best interest. They don't put themselves in the best light. In fact, and in doing so, they actually push people away, or annoy people, and they don't get what they want. Most of the times, we cannot see what it is that we can't see. That makes sense, right? You can't see what you can't see. You don't recognize it yet. And one of the reasons why I go over this different information is to begin to maybe build a platform where you start to see things a little more in different areas. And if you already have a platform, that maybe this information can build on your platform. And I'm talking about knowledge platform, or insight platform, or awareness platform. So a lot of people need help, and the way that we get help is to become aware, and then make connections with other safe and healthy people that can help us see what we can't see in ourselves. And after you build a relationship with them, they can help you navigate through some of these things that you don't see. That's what a sponsor, a friend, or pastor, a counselor, or all these folks are designed to help with. Okay. An unhealthy person can affect an entire team. A toxin that infects the body makes the body sick, and just like um, uh, a human toxin can make the body sick, it also can make an organization sick, a home sick, a church sick. It can affect it has a ripple effect because it affects you mentally, emotionally, and we really have to address the toxic issue of what's going on. Um, but it's not just address it; it's how you address it, because every person is important, every person is valuable, and it takes some wisdom to be able to navigate your way through these things. And so, I, as I was thinking about this, I thought of the parable that Jesus taught about the wheat and the tares, or the wheat and the weeds, and that is out of Matthew 13:24 through 30. And that is verse 24 starts off, "Here is another story told by Jesus." This is out of the NLT. It says, "The kingdom of heaven is like a farmer who plants good seed in the field." And he's planted good seed. But the trouble is, after he's planted the good seed, the enemy came in and scattered the bad seed, or this weed seed, or what we call tares. And this weed seed actually tares, or this actually they also called it wild wheat, which it also this wild wheat has a toxic, poisonous element to it. And if cattle or other animals eat the toxic weed, then it can kill them. And they said that humans could eat some of the tares, small amounts, and it was could be utilized as food as long as you didn't eat very much of it. But the fact of it is, they didn't want to have any of it, and so they asked the master, said, "Well, what do we do? Do we pull all the tares out, because it looks very much like wheat, and it's hard to tell?" And he says, "No, don't do that. What I want you to do is I want you to let it grow up, and when it's harvest time, before we harvest the wheat, you'll be able to better tell what is the weed and what is the wheat, and we'll gather the tares beforehand, bundle them up, and burn them, and then gather the wheat into the barn." So that's with dealing with toxic people, toxic behaviors. You have to recognize what's going on, and there's balance to everything. And I'm going to go through some information here about the six uh, signs to kind of help you understand. First, maybe you have some of them, because we all probably do or have had, and also to be able to grow in our own selves, but also be aware of others. So you're able to navigate these issues in life, these other people, maybe help those toxic people, maybe make sure you take care of yourself. Okay, and both are important. Both are important. So number one sign is they come on too strong. Toxic people come on too strong. When they come into a room, they show up and they want to be headline news. They want everybody to know they're there. Oftentimes they announce that they're there, and and rarely do healthy people do that. Sometimes if they have a relationship in the group, they may do that in having fun, but not just attention seeking type behavior. The perplexity of these toxic people, when they come in and they're very positive, they can act very positive, very outgoing, but the trouble is you have to be careful because sometimes, though, at the end of the situation, they're the most toxic. People who come in strong when you first meet you, oftentimes leave just the same way, according to the information. Number two. Oh, wait a second. I asked the question, well, why do people act this way? Why do they have this behavior? And my statement is, I think it's because of insecurity. We have that need of wanting to be accepted and loved and approved, or at least not rejected. And so they've learned how to try to offset their insecurities by actually, in the opinion of this, basically overreaching. Okay. So number two, give your advice. No. Number two, give you advice during the first meeting. Oftentimes, people that are toxic, they come in and they'll tell you, 15 things you're doing wrong and what you need to do to improve. If it's an organization, what you need to make these changes. They know this stuff, and also your speaking. You're insufficient in your speaking or how you handle things, or they just come out with all these different things, which may be absolutely true. And we all need good information, and we all need to change, no matter how proficient we are in anything. So of course we need to grow. But the fact of it is, there's not a relationship established, so they come in and they automatically start downloading advice, and healthy people don't do that. For the most part, there's always exceptions, but actually, if they're very healthy, they don't need to do that. Proverbs 25:11 says, timely advice is lovely, like golden apples in a silver basket. That's one of my favorite proverbs right there. I have many, but that's definitely one of them. And so healthy people never give you loads of advice the first time they meet you, but unhealthy people do. Why? This is what my thoughts on this. Why? I think it's so that they can feel important and valued. Think about it. What do you think? They have this emptiness need, and they're trying to get it met. Number three, the third sign of toxic people is they tell rather than wait to be asked. I know this is probably somewhat similar here, but this is another toxic behavior that they start giving information, they start telling people, they start giving their opinion, even though their opinion, again, might be valid. But in a healthy human relationship, you hold your opinion about others until you've been asked to share your opinion. Toxic people rarely do. They don't hold their opinion. They say, "Well, it's right. Truth is truth." It's my opinion. I can tell it. I've heard that. I've heard that quite a bit. Okay, and they're right. They can tell it, but it doesn't get them what they want. Okay, if someone is telling you things all the time and never wait to be asked, it's a sign of toxicity. In a close relationship, it's natural to volunteer your opinion when there's a relationship. Okay. but they do it with humility, respect, and concern for the other person. Now, for me personally, I would I can't say 100%, but my my operating procedure is that actually I don't really give advice, but if I were to say something or make a suggestion to somebody, and usually that's what I say, it's a suggestion. I ask for permission, and usually I ask 2 or 3 times. If you know me, you know that's pretty much the way I do it. And toxic people tell you everything that they want you to know all at once, and uh, healthy people wait to be asked. Why? Again, that bottom question there. Why do they do that? To have or to be in control. I think when you're out of control, and you know this, we all have this problem or issue that when we're out of control, we feel unstable and overwhelmed and could be fearful. Oftentimes, we are fearful. So we think that if we have control, that will make us feel better. And oftentimes we can have a false belief of having the control, but that's the only thing you control is yourself, and we have a hard time with that. So let's go forward. Number four. They want to be in the center of attention. They hijack the conversation. Again, this all sounds bad. Doug's saying that these people are bad. No, I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying they have unhealthy behavior traits. Okay, they have learned this, and they have these patterns of behavior, and they can have great hearts, but it's not serving them very well. Now, there are some other people that are malicious, and they're mean, and they're harsh, and they act this way because they choose to be that way. Now, that doesn't mean they can't have some good traits and behaviors, and very helpful for people. But at the same time, they can have these other traits. And I'm not trying to be ugly or mean. It's just good information. You may, take what you can and eliminate the rest of it, or set it on the shelf and come back to it later. So we're talking about number four. They want to be the center of attention. They hijack the conversation. They may ask questions, but they're really not interested in the answer. I remember a guy one time asked me my opinion on something, and before I was able to say anything, he started giving me his opinion, and I just let him talk. I listened to him, and it was all about what he wanted to say. He asked a question so that he could talk, control conversation, and that's I can take the story forward, but that was that's a particular thing that has happened. Several things similar to that, and I kind of let him know that I didn't have to give him an answer, because that's not really what he wanted. He just wanted to tell me what he thought, and that's okay. You can do that. He just didn't know that he was doing that. It's something he learned. Okay, and so he's just following his unconscious behavioral patterns. Okay, let's get back into the paperwork before I get way out of time here. Yes. All right. They want to get involved too quick. They want to tell you what they're an expert in. They want to tell you what they think. They want to tell you about their amazing track record, all the things that they've done, or at least they're saying that they've done. And they and those things that they've accomplished. They are just trying to demand your attention because they want attention. All right. Truly healthy people wait to be asked to communicate, to talk. Uh, One in the New Testament, it talks about don't throw your pearl before the swine, and we could go into all that, but basically, don't give your good stuff to people that don't that really are not going to value it. If they don't value it, then why put it out there to be trampled on? Okay. Toxic people want to be the center of attention. Healthy people, not so much. Why? That's the question. My answer to that why is these people are needy and they're just trying to get their needs met, and they have a healthy way to do it. Probably they picked it up by modeling it from the family of their orientation, their family members, the people they were around, people they saw. They modeled it from somebody, and to try to get their needs met, and they're insecure. It's probably more than anything else, insecure. Number 5, you hear from them way too often. You meet them and then they start right in. They call you. They want to get on your calendar. They want your email address. They ask you to breakfast. They want to help you. They want to influence you. They just trying to make that connection. And does that sound a little smothering to you? It's way too much. And so people, just a normal reaction is when people push in too fast, too hard, too quick, is you put on your brakes and you step back, and the toxic person doesn't get what they want, so sometimes they'll double down. And if it was bad the first time, it's even worse the second time or the third time or the fourth time. Now, a healthy individual that's has humility. They don't mind being, kind of falling back and being obscure a little bit. They're okay with that. In fact, they don't mind serving instead of being served, and they don't have to be noticed. Certainly, it's always nice to be noticed, but see, they don't have to be. And if you have to be noticed, that's a sign to others and to you kind of what's going on in your life. Hopefully that's not too hard of a statement for you. And because that's all of us have to learn how to mature and grow up. And when we're healthier, then we're able to have healthier connections, and that benefits us, our families, our groups, our connections, everything. Our city, our states, our government. And Lord knows we need some healthy people in all those areas, right? All right, why do people push in so hard? Well, they're trying to make themselves feel important, I believe. They're just trying to offset the emptiness that they have inside. My thoughts. Number 6, and this is the last one. And they have a track record of moving around. In other words, I've heard it said in some cases that they have a wandering spirit. Means they just go from place to place to place. And I think that they have a history of moving, and that they're just looking for a place, a group, a people that they can feel accepted and connected. The only trouble is it's really hard for them to get comfortable because they're uncomfortable with themselves, and they're looking for the outside to fix what's going on in the inside. And how's that going to work out for you? Not very good. It's not going to happen If you've been on that treadmill very long, you know what I'm saying is true. Hey, I don't have to be right. It's good information, but this information could be wrong and I could be wrong. But look at it. Run it through your own grids. Okay. Even if you're mad, okay, that's all right. I get it. Okay, let's go on. Why? Why did these people keep moving on? Well, because this sounds hard, but they're toxic people. And, you just you just keep going through people and groups and churches and businesses and jobs and, you know, you're you're expecting to find something to fix you and something on the outside to fix the inside, and that's not going to work. Okay, I'm sorry. Now, there is hope that toxic people can get better because you've gotten better. You know some people that's gotten better. Right people with the right information, with the right amount of time and willingness and practice can help people get better. And but they have to want to get better. They have to recognize the issue, and then they have to not just remember the problem. They have to focus on what it is they need to have in their life. In other words, the healthy behavior. Okay. All right. So, and I again, I apologize if I've hurt anybody's feelings. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to give information, but it's sad for people to have that gaping hole in them emotionally, and they try to cover it up. They have to. I understand they have to be able to try to survive, try to function in life, because you just can't have these gaping emotional holes, because there are some people that when they see that, they take advantage of it, and and you're already in pain, and they'll increase that pain. I understand. So you got toxic people picking on less toxic people, or maybe we should say toxic people being picked on by more toxic people. Maybe that'd be a better terminology. So now this is just my opinion, but Abraham Maslow, with his hierarchies of needs, saying that we're all need-driven people, and that we have to first get our human needs taken care of and our psychological needs, so that we can get our growth needs taken care of and to be fully actuated in the life. And it's a process. Okay. I want to close off with this statement that I pulled out of some of the information, and this is from the Mental Health America organization. It says 94% of women and 75% of men report having a toxic friend at some place, at some point. And 75%, 3/4 of all the United States employees have or have had a toxic boss. Haven't we all? 75% seems kind of low to me, but who knows? So the way out of this for all of us, wherever you're at on the toxic scale, because we all have some, it's just in degrees. The way out of this for all of us, including me, is to learn more and grow, practice the healthy stuff, okay, and let go of the unhealthy stuff. Make healthy choices. It's making healthy choices and implementing those choices that you've made, because just making them is not good enough. You have to integrate them into your life, into your spirit, into your brain, into your heart, and into your behaviors. So thank you for listening today. Hopefully some of this will be helpful to you. If it is, let me know what you got out of it. That'd be great. And also, if you really liked it, hey, share it. I think that'd be awesome. If it helped you, then help others. That's the way I've tried to live my life. Is what I have found that helped me I figured it'd help somebody else. So may the Lord bless you, keep you. May his face shine upon you and give you his peace. Until next time, have a great day. Make healthy choices and take care of yourself. Bye bye.